Tom got Librium, Tom got Valium and Xanax, and Tom was also on painkillers for a hurt leg. All these mixed together, he never woke up.
On March 17th, she ended up overdosing. My husband had to perform CPR to keep her alive until the paramedics arrived. She was almost 4 months pregnant. We now have a 1 pound, 10 ounce baby girl at All Children's Hospital, fighting every day for her life.
What's the best way to get rid of prescription drug medications? Why, in the movies, nothing beats a fast flush down the toilet. But in real life, that's probably the worst way to dispose of any kind of medication. Recently, we spent some time with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office as they're expanding their campaign to allow citizens to properly, safely, and permanently dispose of prescription drug medications. Here's a close-up look at Operation Medicine Cabinet.
The 8th edition of Pinellas County's semi-annual Operation Medicine Cabinet took place recently on a good-looking Saturday at several locations around the county. PCC-TV was at one of the drop-off points in front of the Sheriff's Office Administration Building in Largo. For more than 4 hours, people came by in a steady stream to get rid of unused, unwanted, or expired prescription medication.
I've been saving these pills, like we weren't using them, and so we wanted to get rid of them, but I didn't want to throw them away.
I don't want it in the water table. That was my concern.
Just wanted to get rid of some old medicines instead of dumping them down the sinks or the toilet bowls or tossing them in the garbage.
We don't want our young children to get to it. We don't want it in our water source. We want to dispose of it properly.
More than 70% of people who abuse prescription painkillers say they get them from family or friends. And where do they find these drugs? In the medicine cabinet. On this day, with 8 law enforcement agencies participating, more than 850 pounds of prescription medication of all kinds was collected for safe, proper, and permanent disposal.
We've had oxycodone, we've had hydrocodone, we've had lisinopril for heart medication. We've seen a variety of stuff across the board, and we don't turn any kind of medication or any kind of pills away because we want people to feel comfortable with being able to come out here and provide this stuff rather than trying to figure out what's good and what's not.
There are no questions asked when people come to the drop-off site. The contents of all bottles are emptied into bins. Then the labels are torn off or blacked out to protect patient information. At the end of the day, the materials are boxed up and sent off to be incinerated, taking these drugs out of the home, off the streets, and away from the possibility of misuse.
Every pill makes a difference, and we're out here to be proactive, and it's a win-win for everyone. We're going to schools, we're doing presentations with NOPE, narcotics overdose prevention and education. We're going out to community groups, we're educating practitioners about using the prescription drug monitoring program. So everything we do out there, we're impacting this on many different levels to try to make a difference.
Those who can't make it to an Operation Medicine Cabinet outreach event can always turn in unwanted prescription medications anytime at one of the Sheriff's Office inside bins. Here, the deputy on duty will be happy to assist with sealing up the unwanted medication and placing it in a locked drop box for future disposal. Soon, the list of drop-off points will be expanding to nearly a dozen locations throughout Pinellas County, convenient to everyone who wants to dispose of prescription medications safely and permanently.
Since we began this program, we've taken in about 9,000 pounds, which is 4.5 tons of collected unwanted prescription medication. So yes, we are making a difference.
Operation Medicine Cabinet. Just one more way Pinellas County is fighting back against prescription drug abuse.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Len Szynski from the Pinellas County Communications Department, along with my co-host Paul Melton with the county's Department of Justice and Consumer Services, here for Part 4 of Fighting Back Against Prescription Drug Abuse. And with us now are Sergeant Dan Zsido from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, along with Jan Tracy from Pinellas County Solid Waste Division. Welcome, you guys, to the program.
Thank you.
Now, Paul, we've talked about a lot of abuse of prescription drugs in our various segments of this program, but there's a lot of abuse in disposing of prescription drugs as well.
There is, Len. You know, we have seen a proliferation of prescription drugs in our community, and as a result, we needed to figure out how we're going to dispose of the extra pills. So Solid Waste in the Sheriff's Office has come up with some innovative ways to do this. So Jan, why don't you tell us about that?
So, Jan, right way, wrong way, you're going to tell us the wrong way here.
Wrong way is to flush. We don't want those drugs to be flush down the toilet, pour down the sink that gets into the water, and the wastewater treatment process can't get the pharmaceuticals out of the water.
And right way, of course, is Sergeant Zsido's bailiwick, and that's Operation Medicine Cabinet. Tell us about how that program is shaping up.
We began the program in May of 2009. Primary agencies were Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, St. Petersburg Police Department, and Pinellas County Utilities at that time. And it was a collective effort to collect unwanted prescription medication. We had received several hundred pounds of unwanted prescription medication, and it was very successful. And from that point, it has grown immensely, where now we have 9 law enforcement agencies that are involved in the program, other organizations, and we have taken in almost 9,000 pounds, which is about 4.5 tons of unwanted prescription medication.
And it's a pretty simple operation, I understand, for people to take advantage of this program.
I think it is. Dan, why don't you tell us how it works?
Well, basically, citizens can bring us their unwanted prescription medication, no questions asked, and they can either come to our drop-off container sites, which are at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office location, and other law enforcement agencies that are participating in the program, and they just basically come in, see the law enforcement representative, show us their items to make sure we can accept them, because we don't take things like biohazard, syringes, or medical equipment, but we have resources on how to properly dispose of those items. And then from there, we package those items, and then ultimately they're incinerated through our process. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Now, do you check names on prescription bottles or anything like that?
Absolutely not. Citizens can basically, they can remove the labels from their pill bottles, they can cross them out with a magic marker, or give us those pill bottles. We'll assure that the entire items are incinerated. So there was no worry to say that we're going to throw those items into the trash where someone else could find them.
Now, what's so wrong with having a collection of prescription medications in the medicine cabinet? A lot of people do that. You know, you take pills for this sort of thing and that sort of thing, and before you know it, you have a dozen or more bottles in your medicine cabinet. Is that a dangerous place to keep them?
It is. It is. Studies have shown that 70% of teenagers acquire their medications through either their own medicine cabinet or somebody else's medicine cabinet. So the generation of our fathers, our grandparents, putting medication somewhere in a medicine cabinet have changed by today's standards. So we have to take measures to make sure that those items are safely secured, have responsibility to know exactly what we have, and prevent those items from falling into the wrong hands.
Interesting cautions that I hear from the real estate community. If your house is up for sale and you're having an open house, clean that medicine cabinet out before people start visiting the open house. Jan, you know, you told us earlier that it's bad for these prescription drugs to wind up in the water system, the water supply. What happens when that happens?
Well, if it gets into the water through the wastewater treatment process, a lot of the water is cleaned up, but pharmaceuticals are very difficult, if not impossible, to get all of them out of the water. So if you flush them, those pharmaceuticals are in the water for the rest of the life of the planet. And
it impacts the county's ability to clean the water, to process the water before disposal? It gets into the aquifer. Is that true? Is that the residual effects
right,
of that?
It does affect our ability to clean that water before through the process.
Now, if you can't get to Operation Medicine Cabinet, Paul, Jan's going to show you some ways, some alternate ways of disposing of prescription drugs from a household. So you brought some materials.
I sure did. Thank you,
Show us
Len.
the right way to do it.
We've been working with Sergeant Zsido with the Sheriff's Department to develop a way to safely dispose of the drugs. This is for household drugs. This is not the doctor's offices or businesses. This is drugs that you have in your house. If you have a prescription bottle, you can fill it with water and disposes or dissolves the pills. Cross out your name and prescription number. If you actually have liquid, you can pour in a baggie of kitty litter or sand, dirt, doesn't matter. Just pour that liquid medicine in there. And then when you dispose of it, you want to put it in an opaque container because you don't want it to smell. You don't want anybody to see this. A suspicious character, a child, or a dog, you want this hidden in your trash. So then you can dispose this safely in your trash.
There you go. So nobody's going to be looking through an old coffee can, hopefully, to get to looking for prescription drugs that way. Right. And again, you could do that in your household with materials you have around in the household. But once again, we have to underscore the fact that what we would really want people to do is take advantage of this free program. Oftentimes, you guys take your program on the road. Some of these Operation Medicine Cabinet events in the community.
Yes, we have extended the program, scheduled in advance. We've gone to large retirement communities where those citizens have a difficult time coming to us. So we're going to them to collect those unwanted prescription medications. So again, it's been a win-win, either on a live take-back events or going out there to a community to do a mobile collection,
or our drop-off containers. So it's all part of the collective program to just basically clear out the stuff that we no longer need, protect the environment, protect children from accidentally ingesting these medications, to educate the public on prescription drug abuse. And it covers a lot of facets of the program, and it's a very easy, effective, free program for the community to participate in.
Now, on any day of the week, Paul, where can we find the drop-off containers?
Well, we're going to have this information posted on the Pinellas County webpage, and we'll have those sites where the citizens can find a site that's conveniently close to them. Or we'll also have flyers to Pinellas County. From the government side, we'll have those flyers out there where they'll be ultimately in all the pharmacies throughout Pinellas County. So when you're picking up an item at a pharmacy, be it a prescription or a consumable item, these flyers will be available. So when you no longer need that prescription, and instead of saving and putting it aside, which a lot of time once it becomes dated and old is also dangerous, now you can bring it into us and we'll gladly accept it from you and properly dispose of it.
So we're making it as convenient as we can for people to take care of their problems this way.
We are. Dan, some folks want to take their prescriptions back to their doctor or to the pharmacy. Are there some inherent problems there?
Yes, the regulations are in such that they cannot take those prescriptions back to a practitioner or a pharmacy because of quality control. Obviously, they don't want something that's, once it's left a business, to come back, and then there's problems associated with that. So there are rules and regulations that prohibit that. But bring it to law enforcement. We can properly get rid of it for you, no problem. Our collection containers are open pretty much 24/7, and you just need to find a convenient location or wait for a take-back event and bring us your stuff.
All right, Operation Medicine Cabinet. They do a lot of good in Pinellas County.
They do.
All right. Well, that does it for part 4 of our program series, and would like to thank our guests, Sergeant Dan Zsido from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office and Jan Tracy from Pinellas County Utilities. And thank you, Paul Melton, for being my co-host throughout all of these discussions that we've been having about prescription and synthetic drug abuse. Well, we've just scratched the surface of the problem with prescription and synthetic drug abuse in Pinellas County. It's an ongoing effort through work done by several partnering agencies, including the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, local law enforcement, the State Department of Health, and the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration's Office of Diversion Control, among others. But our most valuable partner in this campaign is you. Make sure you know the signs, the language, and the lingo. Talk to your kids and their friends about prescription drug abuse. Give them the support and information they need to make good decisions in their lives. And support your local elected officials as they continue to craft community ordinances designed to tame an out-of-control problem here at home in Pinellas County. If you need more information about anything we've talked about on this program, just call the Pinellas County Communications Department at 464-4600 or go to our website and send us an email. That address is pinellascounty.org/fightingback. We're all fighting back. None of us can do it alone. Thanks for watching. For the Pinellas County Communications Department, I'm Len Szynski.